this record is recorded live. I feel like I learned a lot from trying that for the first time. But it's hard to say what you learn from being with a person. It's just new. And I'm not saying that I know there's tons, but it's hard to quantify. That's a word.
Quantify, yeah. Is that what you're thinking of? There's a whole lifetime of stuff to learn. I mean, Nina's had a completely different musical story to my own, you know. She was hugely successful, whereas my success bought me a very nice cottage by the sea and a nice quiet lifestyle. But it's been very interesting just talking and discussing our last 30 years or so, last 50 years, you know. And it's good, it's interesting. We have very different musical backgrounds and tastes as well in a lot of things. For example, last night we were discussing Scott Walker, who Nina didn't know, which surprised me. But there's all sorts of stuff we talk about. I mean, who's that singer you were just playing me now?
Doris.
Doris, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if there's such a big difference in what we like, but we just have been exposed to different things or drawn to different things. I think there's a lot of... what we really have in common is sort of our time in the 90s when you were in the British music scene, and I listened a lot to the British scene. So we have a lot of people in common that we know of or music we can refer to.
But whereas the stuff I was doing in the 90s was completely unsuccessful and pretty rubbish. Nina was having hits and stuff, you know.
Hanging out with Madonna.
So,
no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, exactly. So I mean, I was doing my best to find my voice, whereas Nina was soaring, you know. So it was. I gave up songwriting I think I gave up songwriting in 2003. My second album was called Just Beyond the River, and it was so hard work to write it, to sit down and try and get inspiration and really kind of minding my memories and just trying to get an album. And it came out and it got amazing reviews. But it was such hard work. So now all I do is I wait for ideas and I write them down. And I find it a lot easier and a lot more natural and altogether more pleasant. Mm-hmm. So my songwriting has become catching apples as they fall from the tree rather than shaking the tree when it's out of season. You know what I mean? So it's which is a lovely place to be. And I'm very lucky that I am able to make a living doing that. So I don't have to go back to oh no, I need a new album, what am I going to do?
I was thinking to throwing balls at the wall and seeing what sticks, sort of, or if it's balls that you refer to. But it's I'm not trained in music, so I can't transpire my way to results. It's all, and I feel like it's really hard to pinpoint what gives you inspiration. And I also feel like you jinx it if you start to narrow it down. I feel like I get it from all over the place. But I think what's good and what I think works is to dare to throw in anything or unexpected things and see if it sticks, how long you keep it in, sort of, just to try different things. I think it's really good to squeeze in odd bits sometimes, just to see, and just to see the other material reflect against this. It might go away again because you didn't need the mirror anymore, but that kind of thing, to just be like, just dare to expand. And then when you take away your, those sort of placeholders, then it's still going to be you, but you'll have bounced it against new things. That's sort of like a weird way to put it, but I think it's hard. I'm actually I teach a subject that includes teaching songwriting method, which is so ironic because I teach tricks, but I don't know what works really. It's not mystery, but it's not always what you think. And I think sweat is good in a lot of matters, but it's not always the way to write good music.
Well, we have a mutual friend, Carl Jonas Winquist, and he suggested Nina to me, and I respect him as a musician, and he has a very esoteric record label where he puts out odd music, which I adore, and also pop music, which I adore. And he suggested Nina, and I said, yeah, well, let's ask her. And then he approached you, and
I was, yeah, it's just a very easy story, and I said yes because I love the project, and I was really happy that it was a project that had some more sort of meat on the bones, like it was a couple of songs, not just one song to sort of record my own vocals and email it back. It was a real project to step into, so I thought it was really exciting.
I think it was going out for meals and having beers and stuff, or maybe listening back and hearing a take and that's the one. Or maybe when you're playing and then the cellist does something extraordinary. She suddenly starts singing like in a really crazy voice, or Nina and I have worked out the songs, so we're singing them for the first time and hearing people's reaction to the song and then started playing it. It's a very beautiful thing. If you go into a recording process with the right musicians and the songs are all written and they're in a good place, then it's such a luxury. It's such a great thing to do, just to do, you know, it's such a pleasure, isn't it?
It's also it's very intense. I just remembered that you must have seen, there's a photograph. I don't really know where the photograph is being used, but I think it's me and Lina and some other people. It's a photograph of the people in the studio when we're listening back to takes, and everybody's also listening so intensely because both me and Lina are sitting like this, like.
And Lina is in the background sitting like that as well.
It's completely, it looks so, there's such focus and so concentration, which is also interesting because what I remember mostly is that we were chattering so much. We had to actually be told to shut up at moments because we were chattering too much. We were laughing, we were drinking, wine, and it was like a complete Lach-Fest as well. But that photograph is also like, because when the tape starts rolling or when we're listening to a take we just did, everybody just sort of shuts up and dives in and focuses like crazy.
Yeah.
So it's intense. The joy and the focus is intense for a limited amount of time, and it's a massage for the soul and for the juices. It's great.